future. Join us today because together we are stronger. Together we can keep the voice of a nation alive.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio.
We are talking about our liquidity, this money, how to get it found, which is kept in houses. And the Minister of Finance is saying that if somebody says somebody has maybe one check of those money in the house, it needs to be reported to the police. How can it be like that? If these people, the officials, they have containers in their homes and sometimes they bury the money under their houses, who is going to report this kind of thing? Because the police, who is going to report this to the police? You need also money. But let me start from the minister to see those people, their containers which are at home, to be brought back to the bank. Support some mountains and enter the house of these people and everything with their containers of money.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. A new report has ranked South Sudan 5th among the top 10 African countries with the largest proven oil reserves in 2026. The Speaker of the National Legislative Assembly, Memo has called for renewed cooperation between the government and faith-based institutions to promote peace and unity as the country prepares for elections. And airline operators have welcomed the decision by the South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority to reduce aviation charges, saying the move will make air travel more affordable for many passengers. Tune in for these stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Wol Mapal, and now the news in detail. A new report has ranked South Sudan 5th among the top 10 African countries with the largest proven oil reserves in 2026. The 2026 report by Business Inside Africa says South Sudan has an estimated 3.75 billion barrels, making it number 5th in Africa and number 24th globally among nations with the largest reserves. Business Inside Africa, an international edition of the New York-based business news website, said oil production remains a primary anchor for the national budget and development path. The report added that South Sudan's landlocked geography creates logistical vulnerabilities for export pipelines through Sudan. According to Business Inside Africa, Libya holds Africa's largest oil reserves, estimated at 48.4 billion barrels, followed by Nigeria, Algeria and Angola. Other African countries with significant oil reserves below South Sudan include Egypt, the Republic of Congo, Uganda, Gabon and Chad. The report highlighted that while the global community discusses the energy transition, crude oil remains essential to Africa's growth, providing critical revenue, jobs and geopolitical leverage. It added that oil continues to be a major government revenue source and funds major infrastructure projects across the continent. The Speaker of the National Legislative Assembly, Memo, has called for renewed cooperation between the government and faith-based institutions to promote peace and unity as the country prepares for elections. Speaker Kumba made the call in Yambio, the capital of Western Equatorial State, where she joined religious leaders and believers in a mass celebrating newly ordained priests at the Yambio Diocese of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan. Addressing the gathering, Speaker Kumba praised the church for its long-standing role in peace-building and urged citizens to embrace peaceful coexistence, strengthening social harmony and focus on agriculture as a foundation for sustainable livelihoods. She highlighted the church's past contribution to ending armed rebellion in Western Equatoria and appealed for continued collaboration to address ongoing insecurity in parts of the state.
Congratulate all the pastors and deacons that have been ordained today and have been sent as the apostles were sent to their respective places to preach the word of God and to help the people of God. Congratulations to all of you. I think what is really key in our country now is the need for peace. in South Sudan. And I know the role the church has always played in supporting the government, talking to community, mobilizing community to bring peace. You did that before when we had rebellion in Western Equatoria. The church played an important role to talk to our boys who took arms and they listened to them, and they came and signed an agreement with the government. So the same thing, we are not yet in peace. So again, the church has an important role to play, to join hands with us to see how we can bring peace in Western Equatoria.
Airline operators have welcomed the decision by the South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority to reduce aviation charges, saying the move will make air travel more affordable for many passengers. The remarks come after the Aviation Authority announced plans to reduce several charges by 20% in an effort to boost air travel and make air ticketing cheaper. Speaking on iRadio's Dawn Show this morning, Gabriel Ngang Madwok, the Secretary General of the South Sudan Airline Operators Union, said the decision comes at a critical time when several regional and international airlines have suspended operations in the country due to high operational costs. Madwok explained that excessive landing, parking, take-off, airspace and security charges have made it difficult for airlines to operate profitably in South Sudan. He added that car shortages in the country have also negatively affected flight operations, as passengers often struggle to access money in time to travel. The situation, he noted, has led to a reduction in flights operating outside Juba. According to Mr. Modog, the reduction in aviation charges is expected to lower air ticket prices, making travel more affordable for citizens and encouraging more airlines to resume or begin operations in the country.
The airfares asalan junub Sudan ndo kam saradara bal lisa ma tamma tashkil bida fi wahid fi Raja, fi wahid fi Ram, fi wahid fi Western Equatoria, fi wahid fi Eastern Equatoria وفي واحد في Central. إننا كم saradara الآن لما تتم تشكيل بدعم تلقائيا الجنوب براكب الحدود بتاعكم والوداية أو البدي powerful بديك قوة عشان تقدر تراكب مجال الجوي بتاعك وبعدها بكون عندنا ناس شغالين فوقه ورا في تيم في تريننج في شباب في تريننج كمهندسين وفي المعدات جاهز الآن بس عشان تعرف إنه الأير سبيس ده ما حاجة مثلا بقول بس أنا بشيل أسا الآن مربوط بالقصد قوانين الدولية نحن أسا لسه في السودان وعشان نشيله لابد أن نحن الإيكاو يتألوه المنظمة الدولية للطيران يتأكد تماما إنه جنوب السودان الأمر بنى التحتية عشان يقدر يدير المجال الجوي بتاعه وواحد من بنى التحتية ده اللي هو الرادارات.
However, he revealed that South Sudan is still facing challenges in meeting international requirements to fully control its own airspace, which he said also contributes to higher costs. According to reports, South Sudan's airspace at the moment is still being managed by Sudan. One of the requirements for South Sudan to take full ownership of its airspace include establishment of the radar systems and certification by the International Civil Aviation Organization. This is iRadio News. The Minister of Energy and Dams says it is in talks with Turkish investors to provide reliable and stable electricity across the country. The announcement comes after the Minister of Dams and Energy, Agogma Kurkur, met a delegation of Turkish investors on Sunday. According to a statement published by the ministry, the investors expressed a strong interest in investing in South Sudan's energy sector, with plans to provide short-term electricity solutions through solar power systems and large-capacity generators. The investors say they could provide stable electricity to major companies, factories and cities. According to the ministry, the investors have been given the green light to begin investment immediately, with a memorandum of understanding expected to be signed later this week. Elsewhere, the governor of Northern Bahr el-Ghazali State, Charles Mududakol, has called for calm in Wol East County following deadly clan violence that left 2 people dead and several others injured. According to a statement from the office of Governor Madud, a dispute between Paliech and Pariath clans escalated into violence on Thursday in Kunyuk village, Wol East County. The incident resulted in the killing of 2 people and injuries to several others. The victims were identified as Sultan Garang Deng Kon and Captain Garang Aleo. Following the incident, Governor Madhu traveled to Kunyuk village on Sunday to help restore calm and to convey condolences to the families of the deceased. While addressing community members and their bereaved families alongside Will East County Commissioner Garang Thiang Deng, the governor urged residents to remain calm, saying the law will take its course. Governor Madhu further assured the community that the state security organs have been instructed to carry out a thorough investigation and ensure those responsible are held accountable. And finally, before regional and international stories, an epilepsy advocate has called for increased awareness and an end to stigma against people living with epilepsy as the country joins the rest of the world in commemorating International Epilepsy Day. Epilepsy is a chronic neurological disorder that affects the brain and causes recurrent and provoked seizures resulting from sudden bursts of electrical activity in the brain. The condition can affect people of all ages and it's not contagious. He's speaking at Juba Teaching Hospital yesterday ahead of the commemoration of International Epilepsy Day today. Ezekiel Kur, chairperson of the Initiative for Epilepsy Awareness, said the day brings an opportunity to create awareness about the unique challenges faced by persons living with the condition. Kur called for an end to stigma against people living with epilepsy to allow them to lead a normal life. He also called for increased support for the campaign against epilepsy.
On Monday, commemorating International Epilepsy Day, it is an event that is commemorated annually to reflect on the unique challenges that the persons living with epilepsy face. It is a flagship program that was initiated by International Bureau of Epilepsy, which we are a chapter, a South Sudan chapter, and International League Against Epilepsy. So people with epilepsy and their caregivers and advocates, professionals do usually gather on every second Monday of the month of February, commemorate International Epilepsy Day as an awareness-raising initiative to bring all members on board, the donor community, the advocate, and the chapter, the persons living with epilepsy. So,
the commemoration of this year's Epilepsy Day is being marked under the theme, My Epilepsy Pledge. This is High Radio News, and to the regional international stories, here is Lasuba Memo.
Thanks, Wol Mapal. Making headlines on the African soil and elsewhere, Senegalese police say they have arrested 14 people and broken up a pedophile gang operating between the country and France. Those arrested, who are also Senegalese, were part of a transnational criminal group that has been in operation since 2017, according to a police statement. It said the group was accused of organized pedophilia, pimping, rape of minors under 15, sodomy, and international transmission of HIV and AIDS. Elsewhere, Japanese stocks surged to a record high on Monday as Prime Minister Sanei Takaichi's Liberal Democratic Party basked into a historic election victory. The LDP secured 316 out of 465 seats in Sunday's election, the first time a single party has won a two-thirds lower house majority since Japan's parliament was established in its current form in 1947. The Japan Innovation Party, the LDP's coalition partner, won in 36 more constituencies, taking their combined total to 352 seats. Finally, more than 100 flood warnings are in place as more heavy downpours are set to drench parts of the country today. The Environment Agency has issued 107 flood warnings and 209 flood alerts across England as of today morning, with saturated ground and already swollen rivers making flooding more likely. Heavy rain in southwest England and South Wales has prompted a Met Office yellow warning from midday local time until the end of the day. That's all making headlines on the international stage. Back to you, Wol Mapal.
Vote of thanks, Lasuba Memo, for the regional and international updates, and to the world of sports. Of course, we are joined live by Darlington Moses.
Thank you so much, Wol Mapal. In the world of sport, we're starting with home news. In week 16 of the South Sudan Premier League saw some exciting developments. Ghazala Wow moved up from the 8th to 6th place after defeating Olympic rank 2-0, reaching 24 points, while Olympic rank remained in 11th place, benefiting from the loss of their closest competitor, Bentiu City. Meanwhile, Al Hilal recorded their first league win in the season, beating Qatar Juba 2-1. Today, Holy Family faces Wajuma Awil in a highly anticipated match. In the African Confederation of Football Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cup, producing mixed results for teams across the continent. In the Champions League, Egypt's Pyramids FC recorded a convincing 4-1 away win over Nigeria's Rivers United, strengthening their chances of advancing. Meanwhile, Stade Malien of Bamako secured a crucial 1-0 victory against Tunisia side Esperance. In the CAF Confederation Cup, South Africa's Geyser Chiefs continued their strong form with a 2-1 win over Al Masry of Egypt, while Morocco's Wydad claimed an important victory away. The round also saw surprises as some lower-ranked teams defeated traditionally stronger clubs. These results come as the group stages reach their decisive phase, with clubs battling to secure qualification for the knockout rounds. In English Premier League, Erling Haaland scored a dramatic 93rd minute penalty as Manchester City pulled through off a stunning comeback against Liverpool to keep the Premier League title race alive. A battling win for Pep Guardiola's second-place side cut Arsenal's lead at the top of the table to 6 points with 13 games remaining. Ismaila Sarr scored the only goal as Crystal Palace ended a 9-game winless Premier League run with victory over rivals Brighton at the Amex Stadium. Spanish La Liga, Kylian Mbappe scored his 38th goal of the season as Real Madrid claimed a 7th straight La Liga victory to cut the gap to leaders Barcelona to just 1 point. The French forward converted a low cross in the second half stoppage time to clinch the win over and after Alvaro Carreras had put the visitors ahead earlier in the second half. And finally, in NBA, Houston Rockets center Alperen Sengun says he has apologized to the female official he aimed at a sexist remark at during a defeat by the Boston Celtics. The Turkish player was ejected in the fourth quarter of his side's defeat on Wednesday after angrily making the derogatory comment multiple times to Jenna Renew, who is in her first season as an NBA staff official. The incident involving Sengun occurred on National Girls and Women in Sports Day, with the Rockets posting a message from Kevin Durant external to mark the occasion. This is all in the world of sport, and back to you, Wol Mapal.
Thank you very much, Darlington Moses, for the sport updates. And here brings us to the end of our news this afternoon. But first, let's have a quick recap of our top stories once again. A new report has ranked South Sudan 5th among the top 10 African countries with the largest proven oil reserves in 2026. The Speaker of the National Legislative Assembly, Jema Nunukumba, has called for renewed cooperation between the government and faith-based institutions to promote peace and unity as the country prepares for elections. And finally, airline operators have welcomed the decision by the South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority to reduce aviation charges, saying the move will make air travel more affordable for many passengers. That is the end of our radio news. If there is a story or an event you would like our radio to cover or report about, please don't hesitate to send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. I am Wol Mapal. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 1/2 past the hour. Thank you for listening. Until next time, goodbye.